Hey everyone, Sidewalk Runner here, Sidey for short, and thank you for joining me today. And today is Meal Prep Sunday. I do this every week. I've been doing it pretty much every week for the last year or so. It can be a little daunting. It takes a couple hours to get everything straightened out and cooked and prepped. But I wanted to take you guys through my routine and how I go about meal prepping and what I meal prep, why I meal prep it, how much of it I'm eating. Just get a general feel of, my diet as a runner and as I train, doing strength training and such. And, it's been working well for me this last year or so. So I'd like to share this with you today. So for the work week, it usually consists of 1 breakfast and 2 lunches. And that's usually enough for me. Sometimes I'll bring fruit. Other times I'll have like leftovers for lunch if I'm feeling a little flavor fatigued. While you work, you gotta have something to cool you down. That's why I got LaCroix. This is a really good flavor, but coconut's better. Now my broccoli, I boil and I usually put a little bit of salt inside the water just to give it a little taste. Nothing crazy about it after that. Ugh. Man, what I wouldn't give for a pot filler. So I usually do 2 heads of broccoli. That's usually enough for me. I also use the stalks. I'll usually get rid of the tough exterior and get that succulent inside. You won't regret it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my water boiling. Almost forgot the bowl. You would not believe how tender this is. It is nice. Now, is there a big difference between fresh broccoli and frozen broccoli? Yes, definitely. A lot of people will tell you, oh no, it's the same stuff, same, it tastes the same, blah, blah, blah. No, they're wrong. Fresh is always better. In a pinch, I usually have a bag of frozen just on standby in case I don't have time to really, go cut this up and make sure I have some on hand. But the difference I've noticed is night and day. It tastes fresher, it tastes cleaner, it isn't soggy at all like frozen broccoli is, so if you're the type of person that uses frozen, hey, by all means enjoy, but nothing beats the fresh stuff, just saying. Some nutritious broccoli, all fresh and ready to rock. And yeah, it's definitely a messy thing to prep, but hey, it's good for you. And that's usually the vegetable I'll have. Sometimes I'll do asparagus as well, but I usually just stick to broccoli. I usually get my other greens during the nighttime when I have my salad, or if I am doing like a green smoothie, something like that. But for my lunches, usually it's broccoli. All right, so while that's boiling, let's go ahead and get our rice going. And thankfully, I don't really have to cook it. All I have to do is just wash it, throw it inside the Instapot, and hit the rice button and let it do the work. So we need 3 cups of rice, and I have this fancy slanted measuring cup, and we just need to hit this level. I've actually never used this before, so this will be interesting. Long grain rice, nothing crazy. Fill this guy up. Stick our bowl here, and bam, all that rice in there goes right down. And now we wash. And there we have it, our rice is ready. And there we go, I made rice. 2 down, 3 to go. So we have the broccoli done, the rice is cooking on its own. Now we need to work on our meats. First up is the chicken. So this week the first protein is gonna be chicken. Usually I'll get either chicken, fish, usually tilapia, or steak, usually like top round, stuff like that. But chicken's pretty much a staple, and most of the time it's on sale, or at least for a really cheap price, so I usually stick with these guys. So easy enough, I'm just gonna cut them in half and then just burn them. Easy peasy, no need to do anything crazy with them. Now, one thing I do complain about a lot with chicken, and just in general the foods that I eat, is flavor fatigue. And is it a problem? It can be. You eat something, day after day, every week. You're gonna get sick of it no matter what you eat. Your taste buds think you're eating chicken. You're always eating the same thing over and over. But your taste buds are like, you know what, dude? I've had chicken. I've had chicken before. I don't want no chicken. And you know what? I made an executive decision. It's gonna take a little bit longer for the pan to heat up, so while that's heating up, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the chicken down to strips. I'm gonna put them in the bowl, and I'm actually gonna use my seasoning there to save an extra step. So on top of chicken, I'm also gonna have this, a pork shoulder steak. This is just mostly to break up the flavor fatigue. Again, Sauces can only go so far, but this is a nice take on for flavor. I mean, I could have went with beef steak or I could have went with fish, but at $2.39 a pound, that's pretty dang good. So how do I choose what to eat during the week? Usually the broccoli and the rice are always constant. I always have those. Sometimes I'll do potatoes and sometimes I'll do asparagus as well. But usually I'll have a rotation of about 4 or 5 different proteins. So it'll be chicken and then pork, steak of some caliber, usually top round, and then fish, which is typically tilapia. Sometimes I'll do salmon if it's on sale, but most of the time it's tilapia. It just so happened this week that these two were at the right price. So maybe next week it'll be steak and fish. We don't know. There she blows. It's like Mr. Fusion in Back to the Future. Beautiful. And this will last me all week. So in the mornings, usually for coffee, I'll have my cold brew, which I made a whole video about. The link is down in the description. But when I don't have coffee, I like energy drinks, and this is one of my favorites by Bang. Really love this company. They're really good. And it's pretty much the healthier side of energy drinks. It's, it doesn't have a ton of sugar or anything. All right, so lunch is completely done. It's off to the side, ready to be put together. Now we need to work on the final meal, breakfast. And breakfast I usually keep the same. I usually go with egg whites, which this is from Kirkland. I actually use the entire carton. You heard me. I use the entire carton of egg whites. It sounds like a lot, but it's actually only 250 calories and about 50 grams of protein, which I need about 220 per day. So this is only a part of the, of my protein intake. These are cheap enough. I think a 6-pack of it's like $8, so they're not that bad. And I don't have to crack any eggs. As I said, usually it's just egg whites, and usually I'll put some spinach in as well for breakfast, but we're gonna change it up a little bit. This week, I found these on sale. This is Jennie-O turkey breakfast sausage. I don't usually have breakfast sausage, but figured I'd give it a shot, and I like Jennie-O a lot, so I'm gonna throw that in there as well for a little extra protein. Do I ever do vegan dishes or more vegetarian? I try to do it every week or so, at least one meal. I don't think I'd ever completely go vegan, but I do like some of the alternatives, like the Follow Your Heart cheeses that are nut-based, I believe, and those are really good. I like those a lot. I would actually put those on my turkey sandwiches when I was making those for lunch. I've done tofu in the past, but tofu and me don't get along very well. It's a lot of fat and it doesn't sit well on my stomach. Boom, meal prep done. Got stuff for the week. We have here rice, my broccoli, the chicken, the pork that I cut up, and then of course the last but not least, the turkey sausage, which was actually really good. I'm really glad that I'm gonna add that into my meals. Typically it's gonna be 200 grams of the white rice. I'm gonna have 6 ounces of either meat, so it's gonna be the 6 ounces of chicken, 6 ounces of the pork, and then just pretty much fill the broccoli or whatever vegetable I have on the other side. Just fill it up, not really, just eyeball it. More is good for you. You always need more greens. These are your egg whites along with the turkey sausage. Egg whites, like I said, it's the entire carton, so it's 10 egg whites, about 250 calories, and then I did 2 servings of the turkey sausage, which was about 90 grams, I believe, so about 180. And yeah, I'm basically gonna hit about half my macros for the day, and then the rest of it, whatever I don't hit, I'm just gonna hit up at the end of the day, be it a dinner, or maybe I'll have like a protein shake or whatever to meet the rest of my macros. And that is essentially what I have during the week now. So thanks everyone for joining me in the Concrete Kitchen. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and comment down below of what you use to do meal prep, or what's your go-to for your weekly meals. And until we eat again, have a happy Food Friday, keep on running.